Announcement time! I'm so excited, guys. I'm going to be releasing a book in March 2019 on how to get into the corporate industry. The book is called Becoming the Corporate Chameleon. So if you're interested, then follow me on Instagram, Twitter, literally follow me on all my social media because I'll be having announcements. We're going to have a giveaway. I'm taking you guys all on the journey with me. You guys get to ask me questions that I actually will answer in the book, and we're going to do so many fun things in the run up to me releasing my book. I'm going to have giveaways, I'm going to have discount codes for my dedicated viewers. So if you're interested, then make sure you follow me on my social media and you start engaging more, because you might just get a free book. It's going to be about how to get your foot in the corporate industry, how to get an internship, how to dress when you're in a corporate environment, how to get a mentor, how to stand out, what a good CV is, because some of you have been asking me for CV advice. I'm going to have a model CV in the book. I'm going to have a model cover letter in the book as well, not just for finance but also for the corporate law industry. So I hope you guys are excited as I am. So excited to be able to make this project happen. So make sure you share this video with someone who you think will benefit, and also make sure you share the good news about my book to someone who you think will benefit as well. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Don't let me to my YouTube channel. It's Angelica here. If you're new, come in, have a seat, have several seats, and if you're not new, thank you for having me once again all up in your face. So this video is about my internship at Goldman Sachs and what I actually did during the internship. So if you've seen the video, then you know that I made one about how I got the internship in the first place. That video got a bit of traction, a lot of engagement. Lots of people have been emailing me, messaging me on Instagram, commenting, asking me questions. So I thought, why not make another video go into more detail so that I don't have to reply to the same questions multiple times. So yeah, here's the video. I'm gonna discuss my experience doing the internship and spill the tea that most people don't know about, because before I went to Goldman Sachs was literally just a name. It was literally just a brand. I never thought I would be in the firm working, getting paid to be you gonna tell me we just gonna get paid to learn, we just gonna get paid to experience an amazing firm, we're just gonna do that? At Goldman Sachs I did a spring internship. Applications are still open, guys, so I offer CV advice and reviews. So if you guys are interested in that, get in touch. And if you want cover letter advice as well, you can get in touch. Spring internships, they feed into summer internship. You need to choose, well, you don't need to, but it's nice for you to choose a division you're interested in. Spring internships are usually for first year students, and summer internships are usually penultimate year students. If you start early, then it all feeds in, which is great. I spent 2 weeks in Goldman Sachs office in London, St. Paul's to be precise, and it was a very good experience. I was in a front office division called Global Investment Research. There are various divisions in Goldman Sachs, as I've said in my previous videos. Go check them out if you haven't already. I discussed this in my investment banking guide on my channel. Basically, you have various divisions, the investment banking division. I know it's funny because it's called an investment bank, but there is an investment banking division, which is basically the proper banking, the M&A, which is also the advisory, it's the IPOs and stuff like that. I don't know if this is flying over your head. If it is, maybe I can break this down in other videos. We also have Global Investment Research, which was the division I was in. Basically markets, basically research. We research stocks, which we basically advise traders to buy or sell. And we also research macro issues, global issues. They have a European division, but they also have like a macro global, basically thematic division. It's actually called thematics. So I'm not being original here, but it's called thematics because they discuss like themes in the world that are relevant to investment banking. They also have securities, which is sales and trading, so it's actually like a total different division from research. But for some other investment banks such as JP Morgan, their research team is part of markets. Other divisions that did Spring Week, such as operations and technology, these are back office opportunities, and they kind of support the investment bank. They don't actually do the execution. And then we also had investment management, asset management, which is essentially middle office. They didn't have legal and compliance as part of the Spring Internship, but that didn't bother me because I wanted to experience finance. I was interested at that time in seeing what's really going on in investment banking, so I went for the front office positions. During the Spring Internship, they accommodated me so well. They put me in a hotel. They put me and other interns who needed accommodation in a 4-star hotel in central London. It was so nice. Like, we didn't have to pay for it, by the way. Goldman Sachs forked it. So on top of that, like they paid us and they gave us accommodation, and they just took really good care of us during those 2 weeks. They really made me feel so welcomed and appreciated. And they put the interns in the same hotel. We were all pretty close to each other. It was cute because we hung out, we went to brunch together. We still have a group chat because some of us can be a bit forward. I made a group chat and that group chat is still thriving till today. The coolest thing about Goldman Sachs was it was so international. I wish I had my stats with me, but it's somewhere in my attic. They basically had like students from like 60 different universities, and I already said in my previous video there were 14 people in my division, Global Investment Research, and I believe there were about 1,400 applications. So it was a pretty competitive program because that means they only took 1% of students, which is crazy when you think about that. So the program had various different people from around the world, very international, and the coolest thing about Goldman Sachs is I think they had like a West African program because there were lots of people who had come from Lagos and Accra. Like, people literally came for the first time, landed from Nigeria and Ghana for the first time and came to Goldman Sachs to intern. Can we really deep that? Like, that is levels. Like, you just got to the UK.
So just like that, like, kudos to you.
I really like that because I've made so many friends that I would have never met in my life. Like, I know they're going to do amazing things, and it's just amazing to be able to widen your network. So if there's one thing I can say, when you do Spring Internships, meet people because they're going to be your network. They're going to be the future partners and future managing directors. So why not just, get your foot in the door a little bit early and, party with everyone, because like, honestly, the people you meet at these programs are phenomenal. Even if they don't end up in investment banking, they're going to be amazing. Okay, so promo done. Promo done for Goldman Sachs Spring Internship. When it came to what I actually did during the program, I worked in a group of 4 people and we delegated tasks between each other. We basically had like a team project that Goldman Sachs assessed us on, like a real team, we're actually doing real work. That Goldman Sachs is using right now. They basically made us sign a waiver, like, whatever you make is ours. But so basically we did work for Goldman Sachs and we had like a 2-week long project. I forgot to say we had a holiday in the middle of this. We had a bank holiday, which is hilarious. Imagine I'm interning and you're really giving me holiday. So during the internship we had 2 weeks to produce a presentation at the end of the internship, but in line up to our deadline we also had like milestones that we had to hit. So we had to feedback to someone on the progress of our work. We had to deliver something by a certain date. We had to make a spreadsheet by the certain date. We had to do the PowerPoint by a certain date. So there were like basically like deadlines in the timeline that we had to do, and aside from this we had individual tasks. I made a stock pitch on a certain stock which I can't name because it's one of Goldman Sachs key stocks that they follow or that they cover. I had to basically write a report for a trader on the stock and what should be done. I also did an industry pitch. So industries are interesting for me because you see the bigger picture, and I chose medtech as an industry to pitch on. Industry is kind of stable in a way, like in the sense that there will always be demand for it. Technology industry now is booming, so it's interesting to see how medtech is going to change as an industry. So I spoke about that, and yeah, don't know what else there is to say. So that was the task that we had, and our timetable for the internship was pretty packed, if I do say so myself. The earliest I got in was like 7:30, but the latest I left would be, I think like one day I maybe left at like 9 because we had a task that we were still doing as a group. We had to pull up the weight in time for our presentation. Like, the days were pretty packed. We had actual desks in the office, like we had actual computers, and they basically left us to do our stuff like we were genuinely working. But we also had a bit of leeway, like in our timetable. We had firm-wide sessions, so women's network sessions with the Black network, Black managing directors, associates, partners who spoke to us about what the culture is like, being of African Caribbean heritage and even maybe African American heritage, what it's actually like to work at a bank like Goldman Sachs when there aren't many people traditionally who look like you in the industry. So we got to speak to senior people in the firm. I think we spoke to like the COO, spoke to the head of human capital. Normally they have the CEO, Lord Blankfein, well the ex-CEO now, talk to the Spring Interns, but I think he was busy at the time. But some interns actually did go to an event where Lord Blankfein was at in the firm, and he waved at them. So he waved at my friends who were interning in the same division as I, but I couldn't go because I was busy working on our presentation. But like, we had interaction with the most senior people in the firms. It was just such a good experience. Like, you could tell like they were genuinely excited to see interns. From my understanding, they love having interns over because you get to give them your work. Aside from that, like, it's just nice, you know, to be able to see the new generation. The one thing people have asked me about is the timing. Like, what is the timing like for investment banking? I told you guys that the latest I left was 9. I believe we had a rule that we couldn't be there past 9. From my understanding, they were also monitoring our cards. Someone was in like late in the office when they it was kind of too early for them, like too early in the internship for them to be still like in late in the night, and they got told off because like they were just like, that's not cool, like we don't want you to work like crazy hard, like we just want you to do what needs to be done. The person got in trouble and I think that's because obviously investment banking has this image of being like super tough and challenging, and you have interns that have died because they overworked themselves, and Goldman Sachs doesn't want to be involved. They said, I am not involved, is what they said. That investment banking has had, we did not have that. Like, during the internship we had support from the human capital associates, but we also had mentors. We also got given buddies. So my buddy was an analyst and my mentor was an associate. But as well as this, they assessed us. I didn't even know they were going to do this, but at the end of our internship they said, give us a name of up to 5 people you've spoken to during your time here, and basically they asked for reference. I don't really know what else there is to say, but they asked for reference from the people just to see how like good we've been. And I'd been meeting partners, I'd been meeting managing directors during my time there, and I didn't know they were going to ask me like, hey, like who have you been speaking to, but it's a good thing I did. So if you guys go to these firms, just like make sure you reach out to people and you're proactive, because you never know, they might just ask you so who have you been speaking to? And you're like, I've been doing my work. Like, they actually expected you to take it upon yourself to meet people and have coffees with them. The culture was amazing. I don't know where like the stereotype was like came from about like Goldman Sachs being like super intense and you work hard, but it's a culture of people who are already high achievers. They put in a lot and they get a lot out of it. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. So during the internship we got a lot of responsibility. Yes, it was paid, but Goldman Sachs is the only bank that pays for spring internships. So yeah, that's just is what it is. I believe there were 2 other like firms, like finance firms doing that paid, but they were women programs. One of them was asset management, Fidelity, the other one was Nomura, so not really the traditional investment banks in the sense that they're not like the bulge bracket investment banks like Goldman Sachs and Barclays and BAML and stuff like that. So Goldman Sachs is the only investment bank that pays for spring interns across the board, and that was for me like I didn't even know, like I didn't apply because like I literally got told after like, oh, by the way, it's paid, and I'm like, oh, like we just gonna pay me like to learn, like just gonna pay me to have a good time at your firm. So I think that's amazing, and it was an added bonus honestly, but the money is not the reward, guys. The money is not actually the reward, it's the experience, it's the development, and they really challenge you. They really challenge you. It didn't feel like a spring week because I was doing real work, and they actually expected way more of me than other firms and other banks do of spring interns. So it's meant to be like an introductory session, but like they expected you to know to know most things that they were assessing you on, and I don't know how I feel about that, because there was a bit of a culture of competitiveness among the spring interns, but I don't really know like how they can make that not happen, because people already have a stereotype about investment banking, so they go in thinking that they have to outperform everyone else. But me, because I've already been done interning at these firms, like I didn't have that like I'm about to come and outperform you guys like aura. I was pretty chilled about it, so yeah, I think that just calm down. If you're one of those people, calm down, apply for the spring internship, get there, but realize you're competing against yourself alone. Again, if you have any questions about finance, you want your CV reviewed or cover letters, get in touch with me. Again, my first book will be out in March 2019 called Becoming the Corporate Chameleon. I'm so excited. Follow me on my social media, stay connected with me so that you don't miss a single update. I hope you enjoyed this and you learned a thing or two. Make sure you watch other videos on my channel. Don't just leave, don't just cut our relationship. Watch other videos on my channel and leave a comment. Let me know if you have any suggestions. Make sure you're subscribed by this point, because it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something big. Thanks so much for watching this video. Until the next one, bye.